Hello guys, this is the next tutorial how to load an image file and hopefully using the cloud servers, the web API servers for us to get a specific image over the internet. And by using this we're gonna be taking advantage of the map services over the internet. So to say, like a Google Maps or Microsoft Bing Maps, or many other services are actually they're providing the very useful map services with the overlays or something. So I'm gonna be showing you guys how to have a specific images with a specific URL address over the internet and download it and then display the on the Qt UI system. So let me start from the the previous the project. So like a Q timer and a Q time. So it is obviously this one, the timer app, and we're gonna be just making a few additions. Like, okay, let me first add a push button to request, right? To request a image download and display. So to say, image download display, image download and display, and let me say image download button. The button name is like this, and yeah, we set it up. And the next one is our just a simple label, so that we can have a specific image downloaded and displayed, right? So like let's name it like image label, and the object name here, image label, so that we can use it, and I just have saved. So the what I'm supposed to do eventually in this tutorial is for us to click this when we run it, then it will automatically send the file image download request to server over the internet, and then have it downloaded and display, right? So let me just quickly check, by running it. So like what you see here, we haven't, this added any slots on here, so it's not working, right? But let me add one go to slot. Clicked, abstract button clicked, and we have this main window on image download button clicked. Okay, we are ready with this, and in the main window H header file, we have one, private slots. This is a slot function, means like this is an event handler, right? Just like, the set current time we used, the last time, right? Set current time was triggered every second, right? Every second by this timer start, and it was supposed to update, right? The what is drawn, and on in the the LCD digit labels, right? So it's just a simple kind of a similar kind of a thing, and to handle that web download, so-called HTTP request, what you need to do is to add a new class, right? So from the project, you right click and add new, and C++ class, you add it, and you say the base class of this as Q object, right? So base class is Q object, and automatically you're supposed to include Q object, and let's say the class name is HTTP manager. Here we go, right? So here, what you're supposed to use is HTTP manager. So here, we have HTTP manager right now, the constructor, and it is, inheriting Q object. So it is a part of the Q object, so that it is running. It is supposed to run as a part of the Qt system, which is pretty good. And one thing I'd like to do right now is, okay, so we to send and receive, to make a transaction, web transaction, what we need to do is basically, we need to have first, let's make an interface like a void send image request, right? So I mean, we're gonna use this, this public interface function, send the image request, for our main window class to send the call, and then this HTTP manager will send the image download request to the server somewhere, and then the data, the response feedback will be automatically downloaded and then processed. So this is the first caller, right? First call. And next is, okay, let's make it private section in this HTTP manager H, and let's make first one is Q network access manager, and let's say it's image download manager. We need to have a manager object, right? So let's say, and to make it possible, make it available, we need to include the Q network access manager. But weird thing is that we don't see any access or any assistant here. Q network access manager, we did pretty much everything done, but what we really need to do is you open the advanced Qt example project file, this PRO file. You rarely open this, but what you need to do here, the very important thing is that here in the line, this line, Qt plus equal, you need to add at the end network in the project description, so that you are declaring that you're going to use the network component provided by Qt. And when you get back to your HTTP manager.h, then the error message is gone, right? All the error message is gone, and you now can use all of the network related the features. Very nice and easy. Okay, one next thing is that we need to say qbyte array downloaded data for the later use. And yeah, here I think it's all almost ready. Okay, and before we say it's all ready, so if you remember, what is covered in the previous lecture, previous lectures, I mentioned asynchronous transaction. So we just send a request, but it's happening over the internet, which is not necessarily reliable every time. There might be network delays or failures or whatsoever. So what you do is just to send a request and then let the Qt system and the operating system do the work. And when the transaction is done and when the data reply has come back, then we handle that. So it is also an event, so we need to connect that finished event into the callback function, which means slots here in the Qt's wordings. So we say, we prepare one slot that is void image ready. When the image, after the sending the image request, when the image is ready, then it's gonna be image download. I'm sorry, image downloaded handler. They're gonna be a downloaded event, and we're gonna handle that. And this one download handler is supposed to go with Q network reply and pointer type reply. This is just a kind of the pattern, so feel free to just say in this way exactly the same, the shape, image downloaded handler. And if you'd like to be a little bit more careful, then you may want to include, you should do this later on anyhow, Q network reply, then you can have its include header ready, and that is good. And after, okay, so you are supposed to handle the downloaded image and then you are ready. But we need to be able to send a signal to actual main window so that the main window can handle, okay, so we downloaded the file and then we now have it. then we need to tell the main window, right? Oh, hey man, main window, we have the image ready. This is your turn to take, take the image and then have it displayed, right? So if you guys remember emit in, the table list and address list, I mean, last project, previous projects, then, we used emit. Emit means like send a signal. So we define here a signal that means like we are ready with image. So void is a function form. So image ready here, and Q image is usually handled in Qt as a QPixMap, right? So we are gonna be preparing a QPixMap image as a signal, and then it's gonna be automatically, sent to the main window, and in the main window we will take this pixmap image data and then have it displayed. So like this, in the signals you have image ready, qpixmap. In the public slots you have image downloaded handler and q network reply, and private like this, and q byte array like this. So here, I mean, here the slots section doesn't necessarily have to be public, so you may want to change this into private slots, right? So yeah, with this, I think we are all ready for the header files, and let's implement one by one, of the from the constructor to the destructor. For the header, we need one more destructor, HTTP manager destructor, and that's it. Okay, in the constructor, we need to fill out, because this is just a pointer, we need to make a new QNetwork access manager. So this one, let me make this like this, comma, and QNetwork image download manager, new QNetwork access manager, and you're good to go. So constructor side one is done, and the next is, okay, we need to connect. If image download manager says, okay, the download is finished with a QNetwork reply, then we need to map it into this slot image download handler with QNetwork reply, and 3 and done, right? So ours is just like this, right? We made our first connect so that the image download manager, so later on, we will write a code that, we send a request, okay, we want to download it, and then the image download manager process it, and then once it's finished, then it will generate a signal finished, and then it will give us an idea, okay, then now is the time to run image downloaded handler. So this is a notion of a synchronous transaction in callback, right? There's a reason, this is the reason why I spent did more than half of the class hours to do this. Anyhow, okay, and next one is, okay, let's add the definition of HTTP manager destructor in the HTTP manager. Here we go, right? So let me get back to the HTTP manager.h. Okay, here we have the destructor. Okay, so we need to delete, when this HTTP manager object is deleted, we need to also delete the image download manager, because in a constructor we created with a new, then we need to delete it. Delete image download manager, right, to avoid the memory leak. So this is the third one, and okay, and let's say we are supposed to send the image request. So this is a function called by the main window. So okay, so add the definition in HTTP manager. Okay, there we go, back again, and send the image request. Okay, so we need to say QNetwork request. So this one is actually a kind of object that is holding the actual address, the information. So you need to set it up. Request.set URL QURL. This is the grammar, so you need to, run it. They follow this, and in this URL you can use any sort of, any of the website addresses, so to say. Okay, so later on we're gonna switch it into the map or something, but right now let me work on the sample image provided by SPU. So this one is the tutorial document which is provided, all together with this video, right? So you get there and copy this sample image SPU. So if you try to run it, in your web browser, then what you see is actually this. So, Seattle Pacific University, our, the logo, right? So let's get back to there and, let's paste, right, that address, right? And next one is, okay, let's send the request. Image download manager, this is pointer, so arrow, and then get request, right? And let's leave a debug message. I've been telling you guys std cout, but I recently found a better way, which is qdebug. And you call the function, then you are provided with a stream, a debug stream. You guys can just write your message on image request sent to address request URL. Here we go. Then you can leave a debug message. So as soon as your image request sent, you can see the debug message. Here we go. Right? And next one is, okay, image ready is the signals. So you have no deal with this, but with the slots, image downloaded handler, because we are supposed to call, have this image downloaded handler function automatically called, right? In case the image download manager finishes the downloading, so we implement this now, right? So image downloaded handler, you right click and refactor and add the definition in HTTP manager CPP, right? Then you do your job once it finishes the downloading. So qdebug, we say image reply has arrived, right? And we need to check first if reply is an error or something. Error can happen when the server is down or your internet connection is bad, or something bad happens, whatever. Then qdebug, right, and reply error string. Then it will give us an error message, and then we have nothing to do more, so we return, right? And if not, means like the reply is not an error, then okay, the image file has just been downloaded with the reply, right? And then we can load that picture data, photo data into qpixmap, and then we send it to main window. So qpixmap and image, the pointer type image is new qpixmap. So we need to send the the image data to somewhere else. So we need to have a new the object in a heap memory address, and then memory area, and which is covered in a data structures one, and image. So like load. Here qpixmap. I haven't included the qpixmap. So let me go to the HTTP manager then include qpixmap. Right, and then we can take a full advantage of a qpixmap now. We included this, and let's get back to the actual CPP file and image load from data and reply read all, like this. Then this reply actually holds all the file information, and then we find actually the file, and for the QPix map we had to read the image data from a file, if you guys remember, right? And we get it and have it displayed, right? So after the line 33 right now here, the image is successfully loaded, and we are ready to use that QPix map. So let's send this image by emit. Image ready, image. Then we will connect this signal in the main window with the callback function as well, and then we will have it displayed on the screen, right? Okay, let's check. Image reply has arrived, and qdebug here. A reply was the download was successful, right? If we say this, then let's check it out. I mean, in the yeah. So we just finished, I mean, our implementation in HTTP manager. So we need to go to main window and make the things ready. So main window.h is here, and we need to include our previous HTTP manager, right? And in the HTTP manager, what you're supposed to have right now is in the private section, we have HTTP manager, right? HTTP manager. And in our constructor, we add HTTP manager is new HTTP manager. And we are ready with the new instance of HTTP manager. And one more thing we need to do in this side is, okay, so we need to connect HTTP manager, and it's a signal of image ready, right? Image ready, QPix map. If you need the better if you need a better idea, get back to the HTTP manager header file, and then check it is in the right format. It's probably right, and it is connected to this slot. Let's say process image, right? And this, and the matter here is we haven't declared, I mean, the process image. One second, QPix map. We haven't declared the process image here, so we need to have it declared in a private slots like void process image QPix map and star. And we need to implement it. Right click and refactor, add definition. Right, here we go. And you scroll down and you see the process image here. And okay, so right now, what you get is here is on image download button clicked means like, okay, we send a request to HTTP manager, send the image request. We call this, and then the result of downloaded image is gonna be processed inside this process image function, right? So in this, the process image, we have a QPix map returned. So what you're supposed to do is UI image label and then set pixmap. If you guys remember, set pixmap, this is exactly the same thing, right? We set the image, right? So everything you learned in the beginning is actually useful here. So if we take a QPix map here in the parameter as an image, name image, and then we say star image, right? And we should be able to update, right? Update. Yes. Yeah, we should be able to update that. Okay. I have no idea why this is nagging at us like this. And one second, I think. I missed the comma, right? That's it, right? So grammar thing, in the in the programming context, is actually down a little bit daunting, right? So let's run it and check if we see the UI, our UI. So let me click it, the image download and display, and our application output. Oh man, yeah. Here image reply is all right. Image reply has arrived when protocol is or not. What does it say? Oh, I don't know. But on the queue URL right now is blank. Okay, let me get back to HTTP manager. Oh, it's a yeah, right. So I had the wrong message. I mean wrong address. It should start with HTTPS, right? I'm sorry. Let's run it once again and image download and display, and this one, right? Image reply has arrived and our image file is loaded, right? With the CL Pacific University, right? So this is the one great example how to do, our image download. And in the next tutorial video, I will show you guys how to set up, right, our, the map image data download depending on, the given, with the given zip code, right, which is gonna be our next step to take advantage of web APIs on second. Thank you very much, guys, and keep up.